LVMH shares rocketing higher this morning, seeing fourth quarter organic revenue climb 10% from a year ago. The owner of Louis Vuitton also raising its annual dividend. And similar to what we were just talking about with Amex, this is another company that's showing that the consumer is still out there spending. And specifically here with LVMH, there was a little bit of hesitancy or trepidation, maybe I should say, going into this quarter here, going into these results, Brad, that we would see a further deterioration given the fact that maybe there were some trends heading into the holiday season that people have been pulling back on some of the higher end spending. But when you take a look at these results, it really certainly is putting any of those fears at rest. It is important to point out that there is some analyst commentary out there this morning, Morningstar being amongst them, saying that, hey, we're not out of the woods just yet. But yes, this is a very strong report here for the broader sector.
I mean, it's a different consumer, right, too? When you think about LVMH and who they're typically marketing to, it's typically more high affluent, has a propensity to spend even in a compressed or pressured economy, I should say. And so when we think about where they're still seeing strong organic revenue growth, it's coming in across all business groups except for wine and spirits. And ultimately, they saw market share gains worldwide here. But it's also worldwide where they're seeing some of that growth. They saw double-digit organic revenue growth in Europe, Japan, the rest of Asia as well. And growth in champagne actually driven, they said, by some of the value strategy. And a transitional year for cognac after 2 years of strong growth. Maybe they should talk to Shannon Sharp on that. He could help them out. But anyway, fragrances. We talk about these little luxuries. Fragrances doing well. Strong momentum there. And that is an area that I think a lot of investors would be apt to pay close attention to over the course of this earnings season, when we hear even more from some of the retailers that carry even some of the mid-tier to lower tier fragrances and, of course, self-care Sunday trade, if you will. That's going to be particularly noteworthy because it's all of the areas that customers are still willing to perhaps pay for that little luxury, and in order to kind of still have that retail therapy at the end of the day too.
Yeah, certainly. And you see it reflected in the share prices too, right?
It is, yeah. Absolutely.
Some of that excitement this morning.